2023 is off to a fantastic start. Looking forward to telling you about that in just a moment. I'm also going to update you on some exciting new offerings here at the Green Design Center and some new opportunities to listen to this show, all here on Non-Toxic Environments. Hello, my friends. This is Andy Pace. Welcome back to Non-Toxic Environments. It's so good to be with you all today. I am excited to announce that Non-Toxic Environments is going live. A video show once a week. And yes, it will be once a week. I know this podcast has gotten to the point where it's once a month nowadays. But it's mainly because we've been working on the new iteration of the show called NTE Live. And but there's a catch. You have to be able to log into it through a new online community that we've created, and it's free. I'll tell you about it in a moment. In the meantime, let me tell you about my latest trip to Surfaces, which is the largest flooring show in the country. It happened just a few weeks ago out in Las Vegas. Matter of fact, that week, not only was the Surfaces show, but also the Kitchen and Bath show, the International Builders show, the National Hardware show. So my days were full, and my feet are still sore from all the walking, but lots of good materials. Really, really happy to be back to those shows. Without a doubt, the busiest show or shows that I've seen in a decade. And you may wonder why that is, considering how wonderful our economy is right now with high inflation and high interest rates. And people are wondering, well, are you actually putting money into your homes and building homes and so forth? Well, the construction community is usually the forebearer of news when it comes to the economy. And they're usually 6 months to 12 months ahead of the curve. To see this many people at the builder shows is really a good sign that the industry is ready for an explosion again. Right now, housing starts are low. Commercial building is still doing okay. I think they're still working off the dollars that were given out during COVID. But residential has been lacking the last year, and that's mainly because of the interest rates and the rising cost of building materials. But we do see signs that this is improving. I see, based on the discussions I've had with my vendors, that the price increases have kind of, I wouldn't say stopped completely, but they have slowed down considerably. I have several manufacturers that in the last 12 months have raised prices 3 times or 5 times or more. I mean, even monthly increases. And this is starting to come down now, or at least slow down. Do I expect prices to come down from their highs? I don't think you're going to see pricing coming down. Usually when it comes to materials, building materials, and not lumber and steel and concrete, because those materials are either openly traded on the markets, or they have ingredients that are. Lumber has come down considerably from its peak, and it has fluctuated now in the last couple of months. Concrete is now steadily going up. Steel has come down, but it's now going back up. So you really can't count those. I'm talking about things like flooring and cabinetry and labor is probably the biggest issue. These prices have gone up considerably in the last couple of years. You're not going to see these prices coming down. I think what's going to happen is eventually the rest of the economy will catch up. That's kind of what happens when it comes to building materials and other consumer goods. You see the pricing go up, and then they just stay at a level, and the rest of the economy slowly kind of comes up to meet it. And that may take a year, and that could be why the industry is excited right now, because they might realize that this is about the peak of their price increases, and this is where the economy starts to now get into their favor. We'll see. But I can say that I saw so many new materials that we're really excited about, really coming from the manufacturers that I already know and we already sell. Companies like Amarim, their flooring materials, they just put on a fantastic display at the conference. Forbo has come out with a new version of their floating floor, their Marmoleum Click Lock. It's now called Click Lock Seal, and now it's been determined to be a waterproof floor like a luxury vinyl plank. And so there really is no downside to using this material in just about any application in your home, even bathrooms. I've used it myself in my own home for the last 14 years, and I absolutely love it. I've had it in my kitchen, and it's been one of the best performing flooring materials I've ever had. So I look forward to this new iteration of the material. I also am excited because they're adding a number of new colors. There are some carryovers from the previous versions, but a number of new colors and a higher total. I think they're in about 42 colors now, which is wonderful. So you can see these products now. They're already on the Green Design Center website, and they are already in stock, available for sale. Other flooring materials, met with my friends at Nature's Carpet from up in Canada. Really excited to see some of the things they're working on. I've always loved their products. I think that they are starting to make a bigger impact now in U.S. They're obviously very well known up in Canada. Here in the U.S., they've just been not as known, but they have opened up dealerships now all throughout the country, and that's good for all of us, because that means more material coming to this country, hopefully lower pricing, or at least capping the increases that we've seen. But excellent products. Really excited that they are expanding their line as well. So we'll have some new colors and new patterns available soon for that. Other materials, we have seen more wood, actually. Interesting, in the last 5 years, the market has been all about luxury vinyl plank. And I know why. First of all, because of price. Let's face it, the cost of high-quality wood flooring materials has gone up and up and up. Luxury vinyl plank was meeting that price requirement that everybody was looking for. Anywhere between the $4 to $6 a square foot range. The aesthetic of LVP has gotten much better over the years. It's very hard to tell just from the naked eye that it's a vinyl floor versus a real wood. Now, once you walk on it, once you touch it, yes, you can tell it's not a real wood, but they've gotten so good with their printing and the texturing that it's very, very convincing. And young families with kids and pets and so forth really appreciate the product, because I don't want to say it's indestructible, but it certainly does better with high traffic without needing maintenance. Wood floors, of course, with even the factory finishes will scratch. These finishes are designed to be sacrificial coatings that eventually will have to be refinished. But I've seen that in the last few years now, manufacturers have kind of reached their peak of what they can do with that product. It's kind of run its course, and now I do see luxury vinyl plank going into $1 million houses, for the entire flooring material for a house, and products like the Cali brands that we deal with. We do test them quite often just to make sure, and they always test for zero formaldehyde and zero VOC emissions and zero phthalate release. So, we're very happy with the health factor of those products. There's always been the argument of the environmental side of it and how these products are made. I would not personally want to be in the manufacturing plant where these things are made because I think that vinyls are inherently dangerous during the manufacturing process. In its usable state in your home, it has proven over and over and over again to be a very, very safe, durable, reliable material. So I have no problem selling the product for that reason. But if you're also concerned about the environmental impact, the long-term impact of what do you do with it when it needs to be disposed and so forth, this is where wood flooring, natural cork flooring, natural linoleum flooring has always shined. And I'm very happy to say that manufacturers are starting to look at wood floors again, real wood floors. Now, I say real wood, meaning it's wood through and through, but most of the companies that we deal with now are engineered products where it's 3 or more layers of wood that are cross-laminated so that they have structural integrity, so that they don't shrink and swell as much as solid woods do. And then when you're buying a wood that is a more expensive hardwood, you're really paying more for that top layer, that top 1/8-inch layer of that expensive species, and the rest of it is less expensive, softer woods or more obtainable woods. And so you get good value for the wood flooring as well when you buy engineered. Cali Brands, who, again, they make the Cali vinyl products that we sell. They make bamboo materials. They have, a couple of years ago, they released a collection called Meritage, which is a really super wide plank, like 11 inches wide. And then the planks are about 6 or 7 feet long. Absolutely gorgeous material. Not inexpensive. It's in the $12 to $14 a square foot range. But if you were looking for a 100-year floor for a new home, this was it. It's stunning, and we do sell a bit of it because of the fact that some people are just looking for that investment where they don't have to, and whoever gets the home next, the kids, the family, or they sell it, they don't have to worry about it. This product has been really good for that. But I think Cali also realizes that there's a market that they're missing, which is that LVP market, but maybe for $1 a square foot more, people want real wood. So they are coming out with a couple of new collections, not available for sale yet. I hope to see them on the website in the next couple of months. But these materials, and one of the collections in particular, is actually made right here in the United States. And so instead of being made in France or in Asia or Germany, this material is made in Tennessee. And so I cannot wait to show you that product when it's out because you're going to fall in love with it. It's just a beautiful product, meets a price point. I think everybody's going to love it. All right, so that's kind of a recap from Surfaces. I saw hundreds of materials. Some of them I'm still going through, still trying to make some decisions on what we're going to bring here in the showroom. And, of course, before we bring anything new in, it's got to go through our rigorous testing to make sure that it is actually as safe as they may claim it to be, because we certainly don't want to put something up for sale that is going to be harmful to our clients. So as we make decisions on that, we will be making announcements in the newsletter and on the website. Second thing I want to talk about what's new here in 2023 is our packaging materials. Those of you who have been clients of ours for a long time know that we have been using styrofoam or Pellispan recyclable or recycled styrofoam peanuts for the last, 20 years, longer. And while we have tried every form of packaging material available to us, we could not find a material that would have the protection required for the materials that we ship, and that wouldn't cost an absolute fortune, which means that we would have to pass it along to the customers. And so we have tried the cornstarch peanuts, which we all know don't work because not only when you compress them, they don't come back, number one. Number two, if they get wet or damp, they completely disintegrate. And so that's proven to be impossible to use, especially when you ship liquid materials. We've tried crumpled up paper, crumpled up newspaper. Again, there's no buoyancy to it. Once it compresses, it doesn't bounce back. It completely loses its buoyancy and its protection. We have dabbled with airbags, with bubble wrap, with foam in place. Those three materials, they're plastics. Then it's up to you to figure out how to recycle them and how to get rid of them. From an environmental standpoint, it just wasn't going to work. Cut it for us. Plus, the bags do not work. The foam in place is unbelievably expensive. It would probably add easily $3 a gallon to a cost of a gallon of paint. And there are other things we've tried too over the years. We would try anything to get product to you in good condition, utilizing a void fill material that was eco-friendly and safe, but most importantly, it had to be able to get to you in one piece. So about 6 months ago, maybe longer, we started working on a new engineering project here in our facility to create a new type of loose fill utilizing 100% recycled cardboard. Now, it's not just normal cardboard. It's a very specialized cardboard. I'm not necessarily at liberty to tell you the kind of cardboard it is right now because it is proprietary. But I can tell you that it's 100% post-industrial waste. This is material that has been essentially disposed of by the ton by a couple of local manufacturers, and they don't know what to do with it anymore because now the recyclers won't take it. And they came to us 6-8 months ago and said, "You're in the sustainable realm. What do we do with this stuff? What can we make with it?" And we tested a bunch of projects with it, but we found that the best use of it was we created a specific size of a piece of this. We have equipment that we had to have manufactured for us to create a very specific width and length of this recycled, cut up, recycled post-industrial cardboard. And we started manufacturing some here for our own use, testing it out. And we didn't ship it to everybody. We would ship it just to select areas around the country, select size packages to test it under many conditions. We also sent several packages to the FedEx testing labs, and FedEx came back to us right away and said, A+, flying colors, we love it, go for it, sort of thing. And all the tests that we shipped around the country, we had just 100% success with, so we went for it. And now we are using it exclusively for our loose fill. There may be some situations, depending on what you purchase, that you'll have other fill material in the box as well, just because, we obviously still want to do the best in protecting the product for you. But 99% of the loose fill that we'll be using right now will be this, what we call Paste Pack. Paste Pack is also now for sale for any other shipper around the country who wants to use it for their own what's called loose void fill. The beauty of it is that the way we've been able to price this out and make it and so forth, we are right in line with packaging peanuts as the least expensive form of void fill in the market. So we think that this is going to be a hit with other companies, other shippers around the country. We've done some test marketing with it, and we've had wonderful, wonderful feedback. But at the end of the day, we're just happy that we're using this for our own packing material now for you and your orders. So look for that inside every package you receive from us. There'll be a little card saying what we used, and you can go to the website and learn more about it. 100% recycled, 100% recyclable, 100% compostable, biodegradable. This stuff is amazing, folks. We're really, really happy to be using it now for you. All right, back to the original point of this podcast. We are taking this show live. It's going to be a live video show once a week. It's going to be on Wednesdays at noon Central Time. Yeah, I know it's probably not necessarily convenient for everybody, but it needed to be convenient for our guests. So we have to be able to accommodate the guests that will be coming on the show, because every week we'll be featuring a guest. And every week we'll have anywhere between a half an hour to 45 minutes of discussion, the guest and myself, along with at least 15 minutes of Q&A at the end. Now, how do you see it? This is the important thing. So we thought about going on to just on the YouTube. The problem with that is we can't really see very well who's watching the show. We want to be able to interact with you, our listeners, our clients. We really wanted to make this a community where we all can learn and all can share and educate and help each other out on these projects we're working on. So we hooked up with a company called Circle, and we created the non-toxic environments community within Circle. Circle is an online kind of like a news group, maybe like a cross between a news group and Facebook, where you join as a community member, and there's no cost to join. All we want you to do is put your name in, your email address, and then if you are willing to share a little bit about who you are and what point in your journey you're in with the rest of the group. And on our Circle community page, you're going to see things like, product resources, discussion about these individual podcast episodes. There's going to be stories about, sharing a success story of what worked in your home, what didn't work, hidden dangers that you found or we may have found, and then so on and so forth. We'll be adding more content as this community grows. Again, all of this content that I've talked about will be free, will always be free. We will at some point be producing some masterclass events on building healthy homes, healthy remodeling, and so forth, that we'll probably have to do a slight charge for in order to access, just because of the cost of production and so forth. And I really don't want to take money from manufacturers and other groups as to help pay for this, because then that, I don't want this to be a pay-to-play situation where they're paying for their time on our show, because then it won't be completely 100% my interpretation of their materials. I wouldn't feel like I could be completely honest about talking about their products. So we'd rather have it where everybody who wants to watch it and would have to chip in a little bit to see it. And so, but we'll talk about that later on. Right now, we're just excited to talk about the Non-Toxic Environment Circle community page. Now, this is how you're going to see the live show once a week. It's called NTE Live Weekly, and it's starting on February 22nd, next Wednesday, noon, Central Time. You'll only be able to see it live through the Circle community, all right? And so if you want to be involved, if you want to be able to ask questions, interact, what have you, and see it right away, this is how you see it, is by joining Circle. Once you are a Circle member, you will have the ability to go to each event, click on it, and say, I am going. And that helps me to know how many people are coming, how much time to leave for questions and answers and so forth. If you can't make it to the event live, it will be rebroadcast in the Circle app right away. And so you'll be able to see it as soon as you get home, as soon as you have time to open up the Circle community page and take a look. It will not be posted to YouTube or any other device for probably anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. And we're doing this specifically because we really want to focus on our clients, our listeners, and, our Circle community. Because, to get 1,000 people or 10,000 people on YouTube to watch the program is one thing. I really don't care about that. What I care about is making sure that those who do see it are those who are truly interested in what they're watching, and if there's anything we can do to help out, we want to be able to provide that assistance. So, how do you get to this Circle app? How do you become a member? Well, if you already received the non-toxic environments, the non-toxic environments podcast emails, or you already received the Green Design Center emails, and you're on the list, you would have received an email inviting you to become a member already. For those of you who listen to this show who aren't on one of those lists, I am going to leave a link down in the description of the show that you'll be able to click onto and get right to the community page on the Circle app for non-toxic environments and join. Again, it's free to join. And again, a name, an email address, so we can make sure we alert you to these events that are happening. That's all we ask for. We don't need you to introduce yourself even. We would love it if you did. We would love to know who's in the group. We've already had some really good discussions started on the group between members, and we hope that continues. We want this to be a sharing, caring, educational environment for everybody. So please follow the link in the description when you see this podcast. If you have any questions about it whatsoever, please reach out to me, Andy, at degreeofgreen.com, and I will respond personally and let you know exactly how to become a member, because we want you in there. So that's it for this week, folks. Please know that next week's show will only be on Non-Toxic Environments Live, NTE Live, weekly, Wednesday at noon Central Time. And I think we got at least the next 8 to 12 weeks already lined up with our guests. So we're really excited about some of the folks we have coming on. The first week is going to be Jay from AFM, Jay Watts, who you all know is my co-host over the last few years here at Non-Toxic Environments. Jay is going to be my guest for the very first episode of Non-Toxic Environments, just so he can tell us a little about what's new at AFM. And, we can share some stories and answer some questions and so forth. After that, we got Michael Rubino coming on, talk about mold. We got Sheila Alston talking about wellness real estate. That's going to be phenomenal. We got Casey Gray, the Conscious Builder up in Canada, talking about healthy home building, passive house construction, and a whole host of others. It's going to be a great lineup, folks. So please, we want you to join. We want you to participate, and we look forward to seeing you there. Have a great week, folks. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.